God, tell me it ain't so. Okay. Check in, 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 check in. All y'all check in. We'll wait for a few more people to get in here. All right, all right, y'all. Check in. This your boy Mason. I ain't been on here because I told y'all I was gonna go live. There's been a shooting in Kentucky at the militia rally. It's all over YouTube. I know probably y'all watched the speech. I'm gonna turn this camera around. They got a shooting that took place just after the NFAC leader just got to speaking on the steps in Kentucky, and everybody went back to their normal routine. And I guess he walked off the stage and proceeded to go down a street, uh, and a shot rung out. I guess he was gonna do a press conference at this park area, and several shots or one or more rang out because just after the shot, the lives were cut down there. So when I went back, I did see three people transported to the hospital. One wasn't moving, the other you couldn't tell because they were police around them. That probably was one of the black militia leaders. Not sure who was shot at this point. I'm not saying to LA to just get on YouTube and put in Kentucky militia black leader shot or NFAC shot. It just happened, and they're about 2 hours ahead of us. And again, he was worried about snipers. He was worried about a lot of other things happening while he was there during the speech on YouTube. And obviously Instagram didn't really stay on. But go to YouTube now and put in NFAC shooting at Kentucky. You don't have to take my word for it. And everybody knows right now what would happen if this took place. Now, you don't have the necessary channels to go on. It's probably going to be on the breaking news networks in Kentucky. So start looking at the news channels that are in Kentucky as well. But obviously, a shooting took place just after the NFAC leader had just given the speech, or in fact, I'm sorry, NFAC, I said it right. And he was set to do a press conference shortly after that. I'm not saying he was the one shot. I'm not sure. The three or more black militia people were rushed to the hospital, and one in very serious condition. So what this means for all the protests and for people in LA who's going to find out the news is, they could possibly have us on lockdown within the next few hours due to fear of riots and so on and so forth. And he made some mentions about what was going to happen if he was harmed and what to do. Now, they were going to come back in 4 weeks to basically review the Breonna Taylor's case, but he was not allowed at this particular time to leave. I'm trying to see when the shot took place because I think it was coming up. But yeah, this is on a few websites just 2 hours ago, their time, but you can look at it now, so we're 2 hours behind. So this is a lady who was live streaming before the actual shot took place. But I want to go to another angle. Hold on. Because she's taking a while to get to the meat of the situation. But yeah, y'all stay on live. Let me see if I can get to some of the earlier scenes. Hold on, here we go. NFAC shooting. We got to add, because a lot of y'all probably watched the speech, went back to y'all normal routine, and don't know a shooting took place. But yeah, this is the ambulance taking in one person who's going to kind of do a thumbs up. You can't really tell on here. This is another one. Now, I'm assuming the way the police is around this person, this can possibly be, unfortunately, yeah, Jam Master Jay, when we praying for the brothers out there right now, I swear to God, and the sisters to have made it back. But yeah, this is the NFAC 3 rush to the hospital after, uh, a shooting took place. So yeah, it's already sort of circulating on the internet. Now, I don't have to tell y'all, with the COVID situation going on and the protests are going to get a lot more aggressive due to this incident. And everybody know, pretty much the locations where to meet when it comes to black issues. You got Lamert Park, you got Crenshaw Slauson, which is considered ground zero. To get with the correct or your local leaders, I'm pretty sure Najee Ali will get a call. I'm pretty sure General Taco, he'll get a call. I'm pretty sure a lot of our, black proactive leaders, NAACP, is probably be working around the clock to find out exactly who shot at the, peaceful protest. But when you bring guns, it can go either way, and we do know how that is. So we're praying for everybody there to make a safe return, because it's still an active crime scene. And what might happen is they might hold everybody there with a weapon to find out where the shot came from. So now you got out-of-towners who came there for a rally, but now they have to deal with an investigation, a possible homicide of these militia groups. Don't know who fired first, or if there was an actual, somebody who infiltrated the group, who knew about exactly where he was going to be at, but he did mention he was going to go out the same way he came. So again, this is real. Nothing fake about what happened and what we're seeing today. As black people, we wanted answers. A lot of people didn't agree with the way he was going about getting those answers. So that's up to everybody to decide. But at this point, 3 people rushed to the hospital. Don't know if it's Jam Master Jay or not, or whatever have you, and where the shot came from, other than there'll be protests. There has been protests all across the country already. And if that's the case, they're going to get more and more aggressive, which I'm pretty sure the COVID lockdown is going to take place, and a full lockdown will be in place probably based off of what the decisions of, President Trump is going to be from this incident occurring. Because never we have a leader that has, in the black community, that has been shot on live. The way this shooting went down, you can actually hear the shot or the shots, because it cut off in the actual footage, at least the first shot, before they started rushing people to the hospital. So going in there for God for those who are in Kentucky, and we're praying that all of America could get to a point where these issues can be handled. But obviously, having guns anywhere on both sides, it's not a good choice. So we're definitely going to approach this with everything we say at this point will be recorded. Everything will be investigated from both sides to find out why this shooting took place. And we're hoping and we're praying that, whatever happens from this doesn't lead into more violence. But if it does, then we already know what could happen if this situation was to take place, and how people are going to perceive this is depending on what they have to lose. And if they have more to lose than gain, then we'll see by the day if everybody's afraid, and it'll go back to normal, in which I guess some people are hoping that takes place. But it was already chaotic. It was already a lot of chaos going on throughout the years for the protests to take place, and it gets so aggressive to where now you had an actual person get shot on live stream dealing with the issues of police brutality and so on and so forth. No one agreed with the guns. That's first and foremost. Everybody was sort of standoffish from the get-go on how and where this would lead to. But if a person gets out there and they sacrifice, what does that mean? He's talking revelations. He's talking serious talk, and that would obviously lead to a physical confrontation with the opposing side. But if we're in the actual understandings of revelations, then we would know that what today happened, and by it happening, that it's supposed to be an earthquake or some floods or the weather changes. All these other events happened after this took place today on the 25th. I have to say this. If there is a time for you to get religious, the time is now. And everybody thinks, God isn't present and watching, and Mother Earth doesn't reveal the true answer about what kid or what tribe or what race is going to lead, then you'll be fooled, because the next sign to come after this would obviously be a major earthquake. Major events are about to take place. If you have food, or if you don't have food, you should get to the grocery stores. You should get with your leaders. Like I say, Crenshaw, Slauson, Leimert Park. If you're in LA, they have other areas in New York that they have to start going to now to find out the outcome of the shooting in Kentucky. Again, black leader or black militia group shooting in Kentucky. It just took place 2 hours ago. You got 3 people rushed to the hospital, one in very serious condition after a speech from Jam Master Jay, not known. I don't know if he was struck. No one's saying anything. No one's showing anything. But do your homework. Get on there, and everybody act accordingly. Do not continue on with your regular day without checking on this situation. Do not go back to your regular life and not check on this situation, because trust me and believe, this will bite everybody in the ass at the end of the day. So I'll have some calls to do myself, newsworthy calls, to find out if they are going to write a press release on the actual shooting. I have lodges, Masonic lodges, who are in the area that have to do a report now to find out the race relations between the Dixie line, like I say, the Mason-Dixon line that goes on in Kentucky and all across the South. Again, I did a video prior to this to let everybody know exactly what they were doing in a case where you carry guns in a Confederate, state. So everybody knows, and everybody has in their heart and been pre-warned, but no one at this point was expecting him to get shot in the open in broad daylight in front of everybody. If it is Grandmaster Jay, again, we're praying for all the victims to make a safe return, and all those who are there to get out of there. But at this particular time, they'll probably be holding them for questioning, and possibly, that being a crime scene or a homicide. So they probably won't be allowed to leave until way later. Now, I suggest if you have anybody that went to this event, to call them and to have them a line accessible to them, because if they have to leave out at wee hours of the night, they might be getting waited on by other groups who might have odd or ill intentions to harm them and their families, whoever came to Kentucky for the rally. So I'm not an NFAC. I'm not an NFAC member. I'm not in their organization. I'm a news reporter, an African American news reporter, and I solely believe to do it the correct way. Obviously, without guns, you can get a lot of your issues across. And if it does turn into an issue of protesting, there's a way to protest. But in this case, no one's saying the brother was wrong. No one's saying anything bad about what he was saying was truthful. What he said was correct. So at this particular point, shooting this African American will definitely set precedents on how all leaders at this particular time in all groups will be treated for standing up and saying the truth and what's on their minds, And this can obviously turn into a bigger issue across the country like we already have. So they have to, again, find out who did the shooting, which we already know. It could be militia, it could be the feds, it could be whatever. That's up to whoever's going to investigate it. I'm not saying that federal officers would shoot somebody. Maybe they felt they pointed a gun at them. So we don't know if it's the federal police. We don't know if a police officer shot because they felt harmed, or one of them probably, raised their weapon at them. I'm not saying that there's a conspiracy. What I'm saying is it has to be investigated. They have video surveillance. They have phone cameras. They have all these different aspects to find out who fired the first shot. So no one's blaming the police or the federal government or United States of America to try to assassinate, because it might just turn out that they were infiltrated and someone in the group, made an officer or a federal agent have to fire, because they had people on top of the roofs. They had people all on the side. They had people in unmarked cars. They had undercovers all around that whole area. So we don't know exactly what happened until the report comes out. Now, for those who are not going to wait for the report to come out from Kentucky, then you know how to govern yourself accordingly. You know how to get in and out of that city and get home safe, because now you got militia there, you got Klan members there. You can easily be the next target. And like my father always told me, if you can't win a fight, you come back to fight another day. Get out of the area, leave. If you can get out that area, go, get home, cool off, talk to your family, and kind of suck in what just happened. And we're praying for Kentucky, and we're praying for anybody and everybody there to have a safe return, who's dealing with race issues right now in the city of Kentucky. I'm Nash Baker. You're watching Million Hits. 2020, the summer is already biblical. It is definitely revelations in the making. I'll keep y'all updated on what I find out through the news wire that I have. But again, IG is not working at all. And let's pray for those who are obviously caught and a start of possibly a civil war in the South. Peace.